Hello and welcome to Unboxd 3. In this episode, we're going to be looking at a special edition issue from the Star Trek Starships collection. Well, in today's episode, we are going to be unboxing something very special. This is from the Star Trek Starships collection. So, what will it be? Will it be the Enterprise? Will it be one of the many great starships? No, we're not going to be unboxing a starship. We're going to be going even better than that. We are going to be unboxing Deep Space Nine. This is one of the special issues from this collection, and it's the space station itself. This is the centerpiece for the third Star Trek series of the same name, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The series began in 1993 during the run of Star Trek The Next Generation. This show ran for 7 seasons and ended in 1999. It stars Avery Brooks as the commander of Deep Space Nine, as Commander Benjamin Sisko, and he's later promoted during the series to captain. Spoilers. Now, these collections always come with a magazine and the model itself. Now, before we go to the model, I'm going to look at the magazine because the magazines are always really interesting. I love these magazines. This is not the only part work that I've collected. This is definitely the most sizable collection of part work that I've collected. You've got each issue with a magazine and folders that they'll go in, but then you've got the models. So I've now got quite a collection of Star Trek models, which is just fantastic. Has been something I've wanted for years, something like this. Now I just need a beautiful display case to sit them all in. But let's get into this magazine. Let's look at this beauty of a magazine, and then we'll go to the model itself. So just unpacking this, we've got here in the corner here, space station. We've got the year that the station has been constructed, 2351. Diameter, it's got the diameter, so from end to end, being a circle, it's the same all around, 1,451.82 meters from end to end, the full diameter. Number of decks, 98 from end to end. Now, the interesting thing about this, and about a lot of Star Trek material, which I will actually go over and make videos on, because I've got a lot of Trek material that'll make very interesting topics, I think. So this is what we call fictional non-fiction. This is a written from the perspective that this is an actual space station. It's out there in deep space. It actually exists. All of this has happened as if you were in the Star Trek universe, and this is something you would pick up and read. There is a number of publications like that. This magazine in particular runs along those lines. There is a section as we continue on where they talk about the actual designing of the Deep Space Nine. So that's taking it out and then looking at the production of the show itself. But for the majority of it, it's written from the perspective of a fictional non-fiction. So it's written as if, if this was actually real, this is how they would present it. Now, talking about the history of it, the beginnings of the space station, this is actually a Cardassian space station. This was constructed, as we said, in 2351 by the Cardassian Union as they began their occupation of the planet Bajor. And this was very much a mining facility where the Bajorans were enslaved and used as a labor force. So that was the origins of the space station. And then as the Bajoran resistance group, a kind of terrorist group that was fighting the occupation forces, drove the Cardassian forces off their world and invited the United Federation of Planets as administrator for the space station, but also as a presence to keep the Cardassians from returning. So as you can see, it's filled with information and it's filled with images and diagrams. This is actually I think an artist's rendition that's not from the show itself. But these are all shots from the series. Data feeds. All these magazines have little data feeds that talk about either characters or some aspect of the show. Visiting Deep Space Nine. What is it like when your ship docks at the space station? You've got various characters. Quarks is a very popular place on the promenade. Then you've got in the midsection the top and overview of the actual space station itself. More data feeds, more shots from the series, as you can see here. You've got information along the side here. And now we go into the other side. We come out of the show. Now we're looking at how the people who made the show designed Deep Space Nine. These magazines always have a section where they talk about how this ship was designed, how it came to be, how they designed it when they were creating the series. As you can see, a very early design, getting close to the final finish of the circular design that we see here. You see more design styles. And then a section here where they actually talk about filming. What was it like to film this model? What were the complications? This is the first time a Star Trek series was set on a space station. So it was all brand new. And then on screen is where they talk about where it was filmed. The first appearance of it, the movie appearances, there was none for this space station. Final appearance. Who designed it? Who were the people responsible for designing this space station? Well, for this one, for Deep Space Nine, we've got Herman Zimmerman, Rick Sternbach, and Ricardo Delgado. Those were the guys who helped design this magnificent space station. And then we've got an advert on the back page here about other issues that can be collected, and then a top-down view of the space station itself. So that's the magazine. Great. It's glossy magazine, thick paper, high quality prints, a really good collector's piece. Now, for the model itself, comes in this box. We've got on the top here, Deep Space Nine. We've got a nice 3D model of the ship, of the space station, I should say. And then on the side, we've got various elevations, a top down, and then obviously elevation there being a giant circle. The elevation is going to be the same, whichever way you spin it. And then on the back, we've just got some meandering information there. So opening her up, open up like that. We've got a bit of styrofoam there. We'll take that out, put that aside, and here's the space station as it's sitting inside there. Can you see that? Now I think we'll take this out carefully so we can see it in all its glory. There you go. There it is. So it sits in there upside down, I believe. Yep. Sits in there upside down. Here is the command deck right on top there. And I believe you've got the promenade, which is this, probably very hard to see, but it's right around here. The promenade is the main deck where you can visit the shops or, all of that business. These windows at the top as the space station sits there and slowly turns. You'll have the wormhole, which is a major part of the TV show, open up, and you can see the wormhole opening. So what do we got here? Let's look at the station itself. Well, we've got 6 pylons rising on the top, and then on the dorsal. We've got dorsal, we've got ventral, or ventral and dorsal. Pretty sure it's ventral and dorsal, which is basically top side and bottom side, which is in naval terms, and these are terms that are used throughout Star Trek in terms of space. They transition naval traditions into deep space, which I think helps anchor the show in a bit of realism that people can relate to. So these are the docking stations for major starships. Major starships can dock at these ports, and then along their side here, smaller ships can dock. So there's quite a lot of docking potential on Deep Space Nine. Here we've got defensive, the defensive grid, part of the defensive grid here. Weapon systems will be installed, and later on in the series, as the Federation has been managing the station, they've installed further defense systems further along the pylons. You've got several design features here where you've got some probably easy access to various systems for external external repairs. Along here is the habitat ring, I believe. That's the habitat ring. And this would be where all the shipping and the storage facilities would be around the edge. It would make sense that that's what they would be, close to the docking situation. The bridge up here, if we go underneath, we see the this is where the power and the core is that powers the entire station. It's there that the chief engineer would ensure that there is enough power going throughout the station, that everything's running smoothly. You've got a lot of detail here. It's the station itself is grey, but we've got some, green around here. You've got red under here where the engines are that powers the station. You've got some dark maroon shaded sections here. Really is a fantastic model, and it sits perfectly just on its own. If I bring the box back, and we'll close the box up like that. So we've got a nice flat surface, and you can see that it sits perfectly well. If you wanted to sit it on your desk somewhere, then this is, if you've got space. Collectors, I think, rarely have space, but this is what it would look like sitting there. How beautiful is that? Have a nice light coming down on it, it'd be fantastic. Nice blue light to replicate the wormhole. So there you have it. There is Deep Space Nine. Fantastic model. Beautiful model, looks fantastic. We're going to pop it back in like that. Put that back on top. Lock that up. And there you have it. Deep Space Nine, unboxed, reboxed. And when I get some space, this baby is going to go on display. This is fantastic show, an excellent show, brilliant production. Highly recommend. If you're into Star Trek and you haven't seen this, what are you doing? Get out there and see it. Seriously, guys, it's the best. Well, there you have it. That's our episode. Hope you enjoyed looking at Deep Space Nine. Hope you enjoyed a look at the magazine that came with it. I personally, with these fortnightly collections, I really enjoy the magazines that come with them. They often provide really nice insight, but they're also just beautifully laid out productions as well, the magazines. So I always enjoy flicking through those and reading those, even though a lot of the information I kind of know already. Um, but just the way they always present it in a really nice way, I quite enjoy. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, join me on Patreon, www.patreon.com /LC Films. If you'd like to support my film endeavors, if you'd like me to see more of these videos, then jump on there, sign up for like $5, $6, $10 a month if you want. You can sign up for anything, minimum $1 to as much as you want. Any level of support is greatly appreciated. And there are some terrific perks at various levels. So I'd love to see you there. But till next time, keep an eye out for number 4. Also, we've got the video request monthly, which will be coming out in the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for that one too. Ciao.